9 months ago, I released a video called I Created an App for Astrophotography Planning, and I debuted my idea for an astrophotography planning app. And I invited people to beta test the app. And by the way, thank you very much to those of you who did beta test the app and have been beta testing it all along. But since then, I have continued to work on it and improve it and add new features and just make it faster and better and make it easy to use. So now it is released on the App Store and it is finally made to how I had imagined it when I first started working on it. So I will go ahead and give you a tour of it now. This is the main screen that you're greeted with when you open it. It's called the Daily Report. Front and center on this page is a swipeable list of the top 5 targets for that night given your parameters. Below that is a list of the top 10 nebulae, galaxies, and star clusters. Up at the top, you have 3 buttons. The leftmost is where you can select an imaging preset. I have all my imaging setups put in here already, and I can select which one I want to use. And this will narrow down your targets based on the field of view. Next to that is the date. So you can choose any date you want, and then you can choose a viewing interval. Defaults to dusk to dawn, but you can choose any portion of the night that you want to optimize target selection for. So I could, if I only am imaging until midnight, I could select it till 12 a.m. and then it will update the recommendations. And then also related to this is the level of darkness that constitutes dusk or dawn, and that can be civil twilight, nautical twilight, or astronomical twilight. To the right of that is the location option, and you can input different locations as well as using your current location. Now, tapping on a target will bring up a detailed view of that target with the image credits beneath, a brief description of the target, some general information, RA deck, magnitude, size, and if you click on the RA deck, it will swap between hours, minutes, seconds, and decimal. Then you have a graph of the visibility score, which is essentially the percentage of the night, or the viewing interval that you selected, that the target is above the horizon, or alternatively a limiting altitude that you set. Below that is some times for when the target is going to rise, when it's going to cross the meridian, and when it's going to set. Below that is another graph called the season score graph, and essentially what this graph indicates is if the target is in season, and the closer that number is to 100%, the closer to being in season that target is. And below that is a brief description from Wikipedia, and then some targets have sub-targets associated with them. For example, Andromeda has the dwarf spheroidal galaxy M110 within it, and that has its own page. And this works for any target here. The next tab is the master catalog, which is where you can just manually filter, sort, and search for every target that this app contains. As you can see, the app is lacking a lot of pictures, and that is a work in progress. But you can search for different things, and they'll come up. You can filter by the type of target, so if I want a elliptical galaxy that's in the constellation of Taurus, there are none. How about Virgo? That's where they all are. and there are multiple search or filter parameters that you can use here, as well as just accessing them all at once right here. And you can sort the targets to different ways. And then the settings tab has where you can input your locations, your different imaging presets, some advanced settings that you can customize to make the daily report work better. And you can blacklist targets if you don't want to see them. So if you're interested in this app and you want to try it out and support me, then head on over to the App Store. I will include a link in the description, and go ahead and get it for yourself. And if you do, I really appreciate it. Thanks.